What's up, everyone? Thanks for checking out the video. This one is going to be about the rapper Boosie and the situation that took place in Georgia. So I'm going to show a few video clips and I'm going to add a little bit of my commentary as well. And this message is for all black men, but it's especially for young black men, because I know some of our youth do look up to some of these rappers and entertainers, and it's unfortunate because a lot of these rappers and entertainers are here to lead our people down the wrong path. And most of us may already know this, but we definitely cannot afford to act the way that Boosie was acting in these videos. He's a famous rapper, but if that had been the so-called average or regular black man, things could have went a lot differently. And we've seen that time and time again throughout us being here in this country. And I'm not saying all cops are like this, but there definitely are some cops out there who want to do us harm. And there definitely are some cops out there who want to see us locked up. And there also definitely are some cops out there who are naturally fearful of us. And one of the main reasons for that is because we are the Israelites of the Bible. The so-called black Americans are from the tribe of Judah. And we're spread out throughout the four corners of the earth, but the majority of us are in America. And of course, there's 12 tribes of Israel, but right now I'm talking about the tribe of Judah, which is the same tribe that Christ came from. And we know that Christ was perfect before he got to the earth. He was perfect while he was on the earth, and he'll be perfect for eternity. And he came here and he did miracles and shed innocent blood for the forgiveness of our sins, and he rose from the dead 3 days later. And again, he will live forever. But even though he was perfect on the earth and will always be perfect, we know that there were people that still hated him. So we can expect the same thing to happen to us. And that's just the truth, and that's the reality of the situation. And we gotta put the Most High and his Son first, and that's how we can get back to where we're supposed to be. The Most High is gonna restore his perfect order and his perfect timing when it's time. You know, he knows all things. But when the black man is putting the Most High and Christ first, he is the most powerful man on this earth, spiritually and physically. And a lot of these other nations, they know that. They know deep down inside who we really are. So we just gotta always keep that in mind, that a lot of things are against us, and that's one of the reasons that, you know, we have so many snares and traps and things that are trying to keep us back, because they know that once we start seeking the Most High in Christ and we go back to how we're supposed to be, that you know, the natural order is going to be restored. But again, we have to wait and be patient and wait on the Most High. But I'm going to show a few of these video clips and I'm going to give my commentary from there. And please bear with me. It's not the highest quality because I didn't want to deal with any copyright issues because of the type of things I'm going to be talking about. But yeah, here it goes.
Bro, I gotta go to y'all security and file charges, man. It's a rag. Fuck all this shit. You lock me up for whatever the fuck you won't lock me up for. I'm tired, bro. I'm tired. I'm tired of being fucked with. I'm gonna spit on every fucking nurse in that bitch. I'm gonna make you charge me. I'm gonna show you how I get down when I get locked up. I'm gonna show you how I get down. I'm gonna make them. I'm gonna show you how I get down. I'm gonna make them whoop me. They gonna get a charge. I'm gonna make them whoop me. When these cops come out, I'm gonna punch them in their feet. Then I'm going out like that. Why? I'm gonna punch on the first white boy I see in there. I swear to God, my daddy crazy. Any nurse, I'm gonna spit on that bitch. I'm ready now. I'm ready to go to jail. First, let us out handcuffed, that's who we attack. We gonna tear that bitch up. They gonna have to kill us in that bitch. Fight. I take off the, I could fight. I would throw the bitches within the office. All you do is take off their bag and they gun. And I'm gonna throw them bitches with you.
Citation for marijuana. Alright?
For the smell of marijuana.
Crumbs
on the floorboard.
So we see there how he was acting throughout the video, and that's one of the major problems in our community is that a lot of our men were too emotional, and that's one of the causes for a lot of violence and a lot of prison sentences, whatever the case is. Uh, we have to think logically as men. We cannot be emotional. Of course, we all have emotions, but we cannot react off our emotions. And I mean, I think the Most High, he protected Boosie and this young man, but what he did was very dangerous. And he could have cost him his life, and he could have cost his own life, and he could have cost that young man his life. And it's just from his emotions, and that's a major problem that we have. And another problem we have is, some of our elders are not setting good examples. From the article I read, this young man is 19 years old, and Boosie is 39, almost 40 years old. And the young man carried himself way better than Boosie did. And ideally, you would want them both to carry themselves well, but if anything, you would expect the 19-year-old to be out of control, and the older man being the example. But in this case, it was the opposite. And that's where we're having a disconnect between some of our youth and our elders, because they're not necessarily seeing good examples all the time, and it makes them hard to respect their elders, and it also makes them hard to do the right thing because they're not seeing it. And I know that's the father's job, in everybody's home. That's the father's job, that's the parent's job, but everybody is not in that situation to where they're around their father and their mother. That's not the case for everybody. So as black men, especially if you're older, you should be that example to your brothers. And again, that's a major problem. And I know a lot of our youth, like I said earlier, are looking up to a lot of these rappers, and that's causing a lot of problems as well. But just an everyday black man, we do the best we can. You never know who's watching us. So I mean, that's something we got to keep in mind as well. And also, from what I read, it said that it may have been the young man's weed, and if it was, that's a mistake he made. I don't know how true that is or not, but it still did not give the right for Boosie to be acting the way he did, because he definitely was out of control. And as black men, we cannot afford to play the victim role. People again are naturally against us. They're naturally fearful of us. They're not gonna see us as as victims, even though a lot of wrong things has happened to us. That's well known. But in this case, we gotta address the facts. They actually were wrong, because like the cop said in the beginning, that it's not legal in the state of Georgia. So I mean, I'm glad that they didn't go to jail, of course, but they were in the wrong. So for him, it makes it even worse for him to act the way he was acting. But I'm gonna read this Bible verse. This is Zechariah chapter 11 verse 5, and it goes, "Whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty, and they that sell them say, Blessed be the Lord, for I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them not." So we see that first line. That's how you know the scriptures are talking about us all throughout the Bible. But it says, whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty. How many times have we seen a cop kill a black man, woman, or child and get off? I mean, it's happened over and over and over and over again. They hold themselves not guilty. They investigate themselves, and they hold themselves not guilty. And we've seen it all throughout, our history of being in this country. Then we see the last part of that verse where it says, "Their own shepherds pity them not," and that's a major problem we have. That goes to being the thing I was talking about earlier about being overly emotional and a lack of love towards each other. The shepherds are supposed to be looking out for the sheep, but a lot of our people, we do not look out for each other, and that's not the way it's supposed to be. We are naturally a righteous people. It's just that there's been a lot of things done to us, and we're in a low state of mind right now. But the Most High is going to restore everything in His perfect order and His perfect timing. And again, a lot of us are already waking up, so that's a blessing in itself. But this is Proverbs chapter 17, verse 27 through 28. It says, "He that hath knowledge spareth his words, and a man of understanding is of an excellent spirit." So again, we have to remember, a lot of times it's better to be quiet. Be quiet and observe your surroundings and listen to what people are saying around you. And that goes for anybody in your life. Listen to people's words, but definitely watch their actions too. But you know what I'm trying to say. It's not always good to be running our mouths. Like, it's better most of the time to be quiet. Don't get me wrong. There's a time and place for everything, but most of the time you're gonna be better off if you're quiet and watching your surroundings and observing what's going on around you. Verse 28, "Even a fool, when he holdeth his peace, is counted wise, and he that shutteth his lips is esteemed a man of understanding." So again, the scriptures are always on point. A lot of times it's better to be quiet, and sometimes I know society may have it, I don't know, what can I say, like make it look a different way, like if you're a man and you're quiet, or you're not the life of the party, or whatever the case, but that's not reality. The scriptures are always on point. Again, there's a time to speak, there's a time for everything, time and place for everything, but a lot of the times, like I keep saying, it's better to be quiet. It'll save you a lot of trouble, and that's pretty much in any situation. Now this next one is where we see Boosie slapping this older man, and this is a problem. Again, this is what I was talking about earlier, the disconnect between the elders and the young men. Now in this case, Boosie is the young man. In this case, the man is the elder that he's slapping. And I know it was a staged event. I watched it, and I seen pretty much how it went down. But at the end of the day, it's a bad look for a black man to be slapping another black man, especially an older black man. You shouldn't be slapping any man, but why are you slapping an older black man? Why you gonna slap a man from another race? And again, you shouldn't be slapping anybody, but you guys get what I'm saying. And he slapped that man hard. You can see on the second picture where he's stumbling. If you ever seen the slap, you know what I'm talking about. And it's just a bad look. It's just a bad look. And I seen the follow-up interview on because somebody went and interviewed the man who got slapped, and he said, well, he was paid and everything, and he said that he really didn't slap him that hard. And I mean, but maybe that's true, but from what I seen, I mean, that was a hard slap. And that man said he had grandkids, so his grandchildren have to see this for the rest of their lives, that their grandfather got slapped by another black man. That's not a good look. And again, that's what I mean. There's a disconnect between the elders and the young men. This next one up top, you see him. I guess he has these. I don't know if he still does, but I guess he used to have some type of twerking competition or twerking sessions on IG. I mean, I don't know. I heard about it though. I have heard about it, but again, this man's almost 40 years old, and that's not a good look for our women. Don't get me wrong, the women are making their own decisions, but at the end of the day, the Most High put the man in control. So at the end of the day, they're gonna, go off our lead. You know what I mean? And the problem is a lot of our men who are in the public spotlight, or entertainers or whatever, they're bad examples. They're not real men. A real man is not being a thug and making our women look bad and selling drugs and killing your own people. That's not a real man. And it's so sad that that's what our people, a lot of our people think. And a lot of our community, they think good is evil and evil is good. And I'm paraphrasing. That's Isaiah chapter 5 verse 20, but that's a major problem. We got to change that. But I'm gonna go to the next one, the one below it. We see him on Vlad TV a lot. And yeah, Vlad does have quality interviews, but at the end of the day, we do not need DJ Vlad. That's another problem with our people. We always end up financially getting robbed. I mean, we are the most talented musicians and athletes, and I can go on. And one of the reasons, the main reason for that is because we're the chosen people of the Most High. That's another way you can tell who the chosen people are. But at the end of the day, whether it's NBA or music or NFL, we're not the owners. You know what I mean? And that's just the truth. So like I don't see why our people continue to go to Vlad, especially concerning hip hop. We have plenty of people who qualify, and I'm sure there's people who do interviews that are black, but I'm just saying like his platform is very big, and everybody seems to go, and I just don't understand it. I mean, we've been getting robbed for long enough, and it's not like it's like a TV contract. It's YouTube. Like it's not like our people need that to be popular. So I don't get why they need to go to his show. It just shows that we're not thinking correctly, and that's not even to mention. I'm not saying he has anything to do with this when I'm talking about DJ Vlad, but we know a lot of people that he's interviewed has ended up getting locked up shortly after or after at some point, and then we've had some people has done some of his interviews that end up getting killed. And again, I'm not saying he has anything to do with that, but it's just suspicious. It's just, why is he there anyway? You know, our people could do things on our own, and you know that's the truth. But again, most of the people that go there, it's not like they're, you know, people who are, you know, living righteous lifestyles and setting good examples anyway. I'm not saying all, but most of them are like famous rappers or whatever. So, but I have seen some good brothers on there, and some good interviews. But it's like at the end of the day, our people do not need to be going there. And before I go to the next one, when I say good brothers, I just mean certain people, whether they were athletes or even maybe certain rappers, but just people who are not promoting negativity and violence and evil towards their own people. I don't know these people personally, so I'm not saying they're good, like they're righteous people, but I'm not saying that everybody on there is promoting, you know, violence and murder and things like that. So I just want to clear that up. But this next one, you see him holding the money, got a blunt in his mouth. You know, there's nothing wrong with having money if you got it, you know, in a righteous way, or you got it legally. And you know, I'm not saying he didn't, but a lot of times, you know, the image that society promotes is they want us to look a certain way and do certain things, and we're way more than what they try to push on us. So I mean, that's just what it is. But you know, all money is not good money. If it's blood money, if it's drug money, it is not good money. And another problem that we have is, you know, a lot of our people, I shouldn't say a lot, some of our people, we're drinking and smoking and doing drugs. We need to stay away from these things. These things are destroying us. I mean, I've seen it time and time again, and I'm talking from experience. You know, I've been sober now for 7 years because the Most High and His Son delivered me, but there was a time in my life where I couldn't imagine not drinking and smoking and you know, living a wild lifestyle. But at the end of the day, I was destroying myself, and a lot of our people are destroying themselves. And I know a lot of our people don't want to hear it, especially with the weed for some reason, but it's something we need to let go. In order to seek the Most High and His Son, we need to be completely sober. And you know, there's traps everywhere. The enemy is setting traps. I'm not want to go too deep on this video because it's not really about that. Maybe I'll do a separate video in the future, Lord willing, maybe. But the alcohol, weed, whatever it is, lean, whatever it is, you know, we need to stop it. Cigarettes, Black and Miles. I used to smoke cigarettes and Black and Miles too. It's just, it really is going to destroy you in the long run. And that's why they promote it to us so much, because they want us to be in the lowest state of mind as possible. And then below you see them holding the guns, and there's nothing wrong with being a legal gun owner. I'm definitely a supporter of that, but I mean, I've listened to Lil Boosie since I was younger. Of course, I don't listen to his music now. You know, the rap. I mean, the Most High took that away. You know, once you really start listening to these guys, you know, it's just like you can't do it, because you know what they're talking about, you know what they're promoting. And throughout Boosie's whole career, what was it? Violence, drugs, killing his own people. I'm talking about the lyrics. You That's what it was. So it's like, that's the energy a lot of these guys put out there, and words are very powerful. The life and death is in the power of the tongue. I'm paraphrasing the verse in Proverbs, but that's why a lot of our people, these young rappers, they're getting. You see a lot of them getting killed. They're speaking. They're speaking those words, and it's coming back. And the Most High's judgment is real, and our people need to wake up. And sometimes too, it's because they sold their soul, and the devil could take them out. But the devil can't do anything without permission from the Most High. So he's in control, no matter how you look at it. The Most High is always in control. But it's like a lot of our people are getting judged, and a lot of it is because the promotion of violence and drugs and evil. And it's not a popular thing to say, but that's the truth. And our community and our people are way better than a lot of things we've been doing. And these rappers, they do have a very big influence on our youth. It's real. The music is very powerful. Um, I remember coming up, a lot of people used to have the Boosie fade. They may still do, but again, these guys are very influential. I mean, Boosie is talented, and he does seem unique, and he has his own style. He's always had his own style, but it's like, at the end of the day, he's not helping our people by what he's promoting. Now, it's one thing if you used to sell drugs or used to be, in the streets or live a certain life or whatever the case, but if you came out of it, that's different. You're trying to do better, that's different. But if you still living it, especially the older you get, it's foolishness. And again, this may not be popular, but this is the truth. This is what our people need to hear. These people here, these rappers, they're gonna lead you astray. That's their job. That's part of their job. I'm gonna read Psalms chapter 83 verses 3 and 4, and I'm gonna wrap it up. It says, "They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones." So that goes back to what I was talking about earlier, to where these people, a lot of these other nations, they've sat at the table together and they have planned things out to destroy our people, whether it be welfare, I mean bringing the man out the house, or we've heard certain things about drugs and guns getting dropped off in our communities by the government, and we see people come in our communities and they start their own stores, they get rich, and we're still at the bottom financially, and in a lot of other ways as well. So this is all crafty counsel. This has all been planned out. This is not by coincidence. Now, I'm not saying that everybody from another race knows who we are. That's not what I'm saying. But deep down inside, people do know there's something different about us. And people could try to ignore what we've been through, but I mean, you can't write history off. We've been through a lot, and we still here because you can never kill the chosen people of the Most High. And that's the truth. Verse 4, "They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance." So that's why a lot of our people, I shouldn't say a lot, but some of our people do not remember who we are. Whether I can speak for myself, whether it be family or friends or somebody just from around the way, it's like a lot of people they don't want to hear it. They can't understand it yet. That's why it says the name will be no more in remembrance, because we forgot. That's how the scriptures are talking about us. Our people, they don't want to hear it. Don't get me wrong. There's some people who I've met, or who I've met, who have come to the truth, or who were already in the truth. So a lot of our people are waking up. But I'm sure you know what I mean if you've been in the truth and you've spoke to your family and certain friends. You know how a lot of them look at us like as if we're tripping, or as if we don't know what we're talking about. But that's not the case. We're trying to tell them the truth, but at the end of the day, only the Most High can wake somebody up. So all we can do is plant the seed and keep it moving. But He's in control of all things. If He wants to wake them up, they're gonna wake up. But we can't force it. We just gotta be patient and loving, because remember that the Most High and His Son has been patient with us. I mean, he's been very, very patient with all of us. So that's something we always got to keep in mind, you know, just to be patient with people as well. But I'm gonna pretty much wrap this up. I didn't want this to be too long, but thanks everybody. Thanks for everybody who listened, and I appreciate it, and much love and respect. And at the end of the day, the Most High is always in control, and He will always have the final word. But on that note, I'm out. Peace.